I'm Kris Barney with All Things Possible, and welcome to All Things Possible TV. I'm so thrilled today to be able to share with you a wonderful guest on our week to have a guest on our show. I want to tell you a little bit about Nadeen before I actually introduce you to her, really. But we are on a cruise ship, and we're on the Norwegian Epic, and it's been a fabulous week. You saw a video previously to this, or maybe you didn't, maybe you should go back and see it, but we did a video on Are You Having a Love Affair? But while on this cruise, we have been able to attend her hypnosis shows where it's just to entertain the audience and to have volunteers participate in hypnosis, as well as you have taught several seminars. And so we've been able to attend the seminars where she's done a group session and been able to help a ton of people. And it's been fun to be on the ship and able to see her in both aspects, as well as to see the difference she's made for others. So I want to welcome Nadeen to our show. And Nadeen Manuel, right?
Yes.
I didn't want to say it wrong. And I am thrilled to have you here. I know that your website is thehypnosisqueen.com.
Yeah, hypnosisqueen.com.
And I also, they say that you are the undisputed queen of hypnosis. And that is a heavy title, but it's fabulous. You've been fantastic while we've been here on the ship, and we've been able to enjoy being with you and having you here. So welcome, and we are thrilled to have you on our show.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be doing this. It's fun, it's an honor, and you never know who you're going to meet on ships. Thousands of people come through a week, and you just never know who you're going to bump into, so I'm very grateful as well.
Right. We came on the ship, had no idea that this was going to be what we were doing, so we're way excited. I love to put experts and guests on our show and be able to have them help all those that we can. And I heard part of your story and some of your things in watching your shows, but tell us why you got involved in hypnosis. Like, what was that drive for you?
You know, it's interesting. I really, in a lot of ways, feel that this is something that's chosen me rather than me choosing it. When I stumbled upon hypnosis, I was very depressed, chronically depressed from early childhood, and nothing seemed to lift that depression. And after my first hypnosis session, ironically, I wasn't even being hypnotized for depression, but after that session, I had opened my eyes, and my lifelong depression had lifted off of me. And of course, there's nothing that you possess that I don't,
right,
and vice versa. So I thought, well, if this could help me, I can certainly go out and help other people, and it's really become the theme of my life.
That's exciting. And you've been doing this for about 11 years.
Almost 11 years. This is my 11th year, yes. Yeah.
And tell us some of the different things that you've done. I know that you were in Las Vegas for a while. You've had your own clinic. Tell us about your practice, and I mean, you're on a ship, and how long you get to be on the ship.
Yeah, so I'm on this ship for 5.5 weeks.
Wow.
Which is so much fun, escaping the Canadian cold winter, and which has been great. And also having my family come on a few weeks ago, which was great as well. And so being on the cruise ship is a lot of fun. Wait, what was the question? The original question?
Just some of the things that you've done in the 11 years.
Some of the things I've done. Oh, okay, yeah. So in the clinic, I mean, we see miracles happen all the time in the clinics. And let me tell you, when people come to a hypnotist, they're exhausted, meaning they've exhausted every other possibility imaginable. Yes. So they've tried everything. And then, of course, their last resort is always to see the hypnotist. So men and women who have taken care of their husbands, their wives, their children, their careers, their parents, and they come last. I've seen type 2 diabetes disappear. People go off their blood pressure and cholesterol medications, of course with their doctor's approval. People who are in severe pain that they've had for even 50, 60 years, able to alleviate that pain completely, be pain-free. Any type of fear or phobia. People bit their nails for 60 years, able to, after one session, stop biting their nails. It's really remarkable every day seeing people have transformations in different ways. There's just too many things to list. Addictions, people being able to eat healthier, to exercise more, just improving their overall quality of life.
Well, and I love that we both have that we want to help people to feel better and to be more productive in their life and to take their life to the next level. And that's neat because we both share that interest and want to help tons of people. And it's been fun to watch. Your shows have had phenomenal audiences. Yeah. And they've been maxed out every time, and that's been exciting to see that people do want change. People are ready for a change. Mm-hmm. One of the things that you talked about in the hypnosis is why is tone and language so important in hypnosis? And can you tell us a little bit about that? Because it's not just about the words. There's a lot more to it.
There is a lot more to it. Thank you for asking that. And because a lot of people say, well, how does it work? And does it work? And is it real? That's always one of the things. And there's a few important elements that need to occur in order for the hypnosis to work. So yeah, tone is absolutely important. Being able to change your tone, and the language. But I think what's really important is the intention behind that. Really, the intention of what you're giving, and being able to lay out the language in a very methodical way, using what we call as hypnotic language. And that's really moving towards what we want rather than what we don't want, right? Just like, like attracting like. It's not a coincidence that we're both sitting here together.
That's
having
so true.
The same intention, right?
Yes.
Maybe just a little different tool to achieve
exactly.
it, but moving to the same place.
Right, we have a little bit different expertise, yet it's all about making a difference for others and for helping those and assisting them, because everybody has their own answers. And just like you have told us in your sessions, that you're not doing the work, they're doing their own work.
Yeah, absolutely. Under hypnosis, you have that much control. You can accept, you can reject, or even be completely neutral to any hypnotist's suggestion. It's always up to you. You have that control. And one of the things I always tell the people sitting in the audience is during a seminar, comedy stage show is a different thing, but during the seminars, is to trust themselves, themselves, because I'm not doing anything. I'm grateful to be the facilitator, the guide, but the reality is each and every individual makes the decision to go there and to really validate themselves.
And they're not being manipulated.
No, I'm not doing anything to them. Yeah,
they're still in control.
Absolutely.
And there's a total concept of the conscious mind and the subconscious mind.
Right.
And you talk about how to get both of those kind of in alignment and to reach both of those. Mm-hmm. What would you tell an audience about that?
The conscious versus subconscious.
Right.
Ooh, where do we start?
We could write books. But.
Yeah, there has been a lot of books, yeah. But think about it like this. The conscious is what you're experiencing right now, which is very little. The subconscious is everything else. And I can't even wrap my mind around that. There's so much information around us, and that's the subconscious, which picks up everything. And the iceberg analogy really is accurate, where what we see is just the tip of the iceberg, and what's underneath is so much more. Our subconscious mind is vastly more powerful and can do so many things. And under hypnosis, in many cases, not necessarily, but in many cases, through the process of relaxation, we bring your subconscious to the forefront and speak directly to that, the place where true, genuine change can happen easily, effortlessly, and quickly.
That's so true.
And permanently.
And so much of the stuff that we work on with my husband and I is through releasing emotions and feeling better. And it's a lot in that subconscious mind. We always laugh and say, you got to get through that particular activating system and really get in there and to keep it and to make it something that stays with you.
Yeah, and you are accessing the subconscious. When you have a person focused, when their brainwaves have moved from beta to alpha, which happens as you're talking, you're getting them in that place as well, and giving them suggestion, allowing them to have an emotional experience to create change.
Yes. Yeah. You teach a lot of self-hypnosis, and we're excited because we have the opportunity of learning that. But how easy is it to learn to do that, and what's the benefit of being able to do self-hypnosis?
Oh my gosh, it's so easy. It is so easy. It's so simple, it's ridiculous. And that's one of the reasons why I created this technique that I'm going to be teaching later today. And the reason why I created it is because I think that people should have self-reliance. Rather than always going to see your therapist week after week, to have the tools to be able to, in any situation, be able to fix whatever it is. to get you through the minute or the hour or the day or the week or the month or however long that period is that people are going through their suffering, whatever that suffering may be, whether it be a habit, a feeling, even in a relationship. And it's so easy to apply self-hypnosis. I can teach the full technique from beginning to end, have you write out your own hypnotic script, usually within 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and you walk away being able to apply it. And I've had thousands of people go through my programs who are able to, who've lost hundreds of pounds, who have changed habits, who've done all kinds of things. And it only takes 5 to 15 minutes a day with this technique as well.
That's neat.
Yeah.
My husband and I work with a lot of clients that are in overwhelm, frustration, depression. How does hypnosis work for those kind of issues?
What's really neat about hypnosis is the residual effect. So, for example, if you come in for, say, weight loss, you're going to be able to alleviate stress because it relaxes the nervous system.
Right.
And one of the main elements of hypnosis is that when you're hypnotized, you respond to suggestion very literally. So what I mean by literally is I can say, I will exercise tomorrow. Tomorrow comes along, I will exercise tomorrow. The next day comes along, exercise tomorrow. I'll never get that workout in. Yeah, how many times have we said that? You know? Yeah, and so when you're responding literally to suggestion, or the example I use on stage is when I have, during one of my adult shows, or PG-13 shows I should say, getting people hypnotically drunk, and then I say, okay, take your glasses and throw them away. I've had guys take their glasses right off their head and throw them away because they're responding literally to suggestion. Right. So with hypnotic language, a lot of times we say, to relax and to let go and feel good, and a lot of those really helpful suggestions.
Right.
And because they're responding literally and it's in present tense, they're able to alleviate a lot of those emotional things that have been holding them down. Sadness, depression, frustration.
That's awesome, because you can feel real relief. We just went through a session an hour ago, and it was so relaxing and so helpful and so empowering. That it was awesome, and it was in a group of, how many do you think were in our group in that one?
Maybe almost 200.
I would guess about 200. So it was a phenomenal effect that all of us got to do at once, and so that was really powerful. Tell us about the importance of positive language. I know when you do it for a group, and individually too, it's always positive language. But tell us the value in that. I know that we have had other guests on the show that talked about ideal life vision, where you speak how it is as if it's already happened, and that we have to be very careful about the language to make sure that it's always in the positive. But why don't you tell us a little bit about that with hypnosis?
It's really the most important thing, and a lot of times, with guided imagery and different things, we're just kind of putting a different name on the same thing.
Right.
Is essentially what it is. But the root of it, that is hypnotic language. And it's not only because you're responding literally to suggestion, and as you know, whatever we focus on, we get more of, and that's kind of the law of attraction. Whatever it is that you think about, you bring about, right? Whether you want to or not.
Exactly.
And that's something we all know. And that's why positive language is so important, and being present. And that's essentially how hypnotic language works. And then, of course, with the right tone and formulating the suggestions in the right way to get the result. But this is why. It's because your subconscious mind cannot decipher the difference between what's real or vividly imagined. So if we can imagine something vividly, and it's in your mind, it's happening presently, and you're focusing on the positive of it. So here's an example. Weight loss is people always come in for weight loss.
Yes.
So this is the effect of positive language. How many times have you told yourself, I will not eat after 7? I will not eat after 7, right? Well, your subconscious hears, eat after 7.
Exactly.
Eat after 7, right?
7 gets there and you're starving.
Yeah, somebody orders pizza, it is over, right?
8:30, you're like famished.
Yeah, yeah. Because you're focusing on eating after 7. So this is what positive language would be. I'm completely full and satisfied after 7 p.m. My body, my mind, everything has complete nourishment. I have all the nutrients I need after 7 p.m. Somebody orders food, and now the messages that your brain is sending to your body is fullness and satisfaction.
Right.
And that's positive language, and that's how it works under hypnosis. Or you're not going to say, okay, well today, you know, if you have an irritating neighbor, you know, I'm not going to let my neighbor bother me. My neighbor will not bother me. My neighbor is not going to annoy me, right?
And it's
neighbor
not
comes
bothering
around,
me.
yeah, annoying neighbor, right? Or you can say, you know, I'm calm. You know, I feel calm. I feel relaxed around my neighbor. You know, my mind is clear. I'm focused on what I want. And now your neighbor comes around, and it's calmness and relaxation,
right.
rather
you actually
than
enjoy your neighbor.
Yeah, rather than not being annoyed, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's the value of positive language. That's essentially how it works. So whether you want to or not, your subconscious, if you can imagine it, that's what you're going to get. And so many times when you think about not eating after 7 or not feeling bothered or intimidated, you're imagining it, whether you want to or not.
Right.
Or even pain in your body. Not thinking about, you know, your back hurting is going to create more pain.
Right.
But if you think, even if your back hurts, if you just start to imagine your back as being strong and flexible and having great posture and your spine being aligned, that's what you're going to get more of. And science has finally backed this up as well.
Yes, that's been a relief to have science matching up with what's going on and to have it known in the medical field and whatnot. It's been really, really exciting to see some of these things. One of the things that we teach a lot of is that everything is in baby steps, and I actually heard you introduce a few things this week this way, that I teach. It's baby steps. Once you want to work on organization, start with one little thing. Start with a drawer, start with a closet, and start there and continue. And once you start to align, everything comes together. And I saw that you had mentioned this as well.
Yeah, and that's brilliant. You know, the way our brain works, it works in brain maps. And with every thought that we have, there's a new chemical, a new reaction that's happening in the brain. So when you make that first baby step, that neuron is firing off in a different way, which creates a new brain map, essentially. Now we know with neuroplasticity that's become very popular in the 90s. We're learning that when you begin to take baby steps, your brain begins to change.
Exactly.
To create new habits, new life. Yeah.
Right, and instead of taking on this big, overwhelming, I'm going to change everything, we start with one thing and take those steps, and then we add to that as we can handle it.
That's perfect.
So I know that the way that you explained the hypnosis in the seminar, I want to say, rather than the entertainment night, was that it is little things build on each other, and then you can align everything together.
Yeah,
Tell me,
we all know little things make big things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't eat an elephant with one bite.
Yeah, one bite at a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how often do you feel like that hypnosis is needed? Like to continue down a pattern, how often would you recommend that someone were to listen to the CDs that you have, or do self-hypnosis? How often do you think
For how many years were you experiencing the chronic pain? For how many years?
2.5 years.
2.5 years straight, every day?
Yes.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, what was your average level of pain?
It was never below a 6, so I mean it could go anywhere from 6 to 8.5.
6 to 8.5. And now, for the last 4 days, your pain level has been?
0.
Thank you so much. Anna, I have to ask for the analytical minds in the room, because I know you're out there. But before you came up on stage that day, on a scale of 1 to 10, what was your average level of pain?
8.5, 9. For the last uninterrupted 3 months.
Right. And since we had our session?
Well, based on how I feel about not having pain, -3. Okay. But no, completely, like it didn't exist. I have 0 pain. I can move. I go in the...
Before a year ago, how often were you experiencing that pain on a scale of 1 to 10?
Daily. It was maybe about 7 to an 8 daily.
7 to an 8 daily. And now,
after just one session, what are you experiencing with your pain?
So far, since then, I've been rock climbing. I've done it on the ship. I've done many physical activities that I probably wouldn't have done before. Oh, I did the CN Tower, by the way.
Wow.
The edge walk.
Can you give it a number though?
Well, right now, in this moment, I probably have maybe a 1 or a 2 pain. But normally, probably about maybe 0 to 2 on a normal basis.
Yeah, and then how much were you smoking before?
Oh, probably about a pack and a half a day.
And now?
Maybe about a pack every 4 days.
Yeah, and that's a really big deal. That's just after one session. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You know, it's really interesting because that answer is going to vary for everybody. We're all the same, but we're all very different as well. So what you're receptive to, another person may not be as receptive. Hypnosis works for everybody because it's a naturally occurring phenomenon. It happens in all of our minds all the time. All I'm doing is just isolating that place and giving you suggestions in a methodical way, in a positive way. So some people, after one session, they'll be able to alleviate whatever it is. They could be a smoker for 50 years and stop after just one session. And everybody knows somebody who's experienced that however many years ago. But other people, they're going to need a few more sessions. But usually after the first session, you've accomplished a lot of what you want. And then after that, you can follow up. With my programs, they say it takes 21 days to change a habit. So if you don't get to see me and you go to the audio
if you're not on the cruise ship, you're not in Canada,
or wherever I'm teaching, with the program, I say you just listen to it every day for 21 days. Just put it on, whether your eyes are open or closed, just put it on, and it can't not have an effect on you. And then after that, maybe once a week, once a month, once a year, whenever you need it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us what programs you have. You've got them on your website for $19.99.
Yep.
They're a downloadable MP3.
Yep.
And why don't you go ahead and tell us what programs you have, and then we'll put your website on as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, weight management, and I lost a lot of pounds with hypnosis and kept it off, which was a big deal. So the programs, what we've done is all the best suggestions that worked with our clients in the office, what people were most receptive to, those are the suggestions that we have, that I have in my programs. So weight management, stress release, abundance creator, so creating more wealth, Confident You, which is a beautiful program, really beautiful program. I get emails every week about that program. Eliminating depression, freedom from sadness, stop smoking, falling asleep. So a lot of times if the sleeping pills are not working, falling asleep is a really wonderful program. I distract your conscious mind to access the subconscious, to quiet your thoughts. For whatever reason you can't sleep. People with sleep apnea, it's a really wonderful program.
And if you don't want medication.
Yeah, or if you don't want
sleep,
an alternative as well.
A very good alternative.
Yeah, it's just another tool to your toolbox. Self-hypnosis, and I know I'm forgetting some programs. There's pain management.
There's a lot of them, and it's basically the key things that people struggle with.
Yeah.
So,
and more programs to come as well.
Yes. And tell them the best way to get to your website. HypnosisQueen.com, and from HypnosisQueen.com you can access GlobalHypnosisCenter.com,
and that's where you can buy the programs at Global Hypnosis Center. But Hypnosis Queen is easy to remember, and there's a link from Hypnosis Queen to Global Hypnosis Center where you can just download them right away. It's just a click of a few buttons, and you can have access. And what I've also done as well is I've given you a bonus track for sleep. Because a lot of times people will listen to them at night, and then I'll count you out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you'll be in bed. Totally
and you
awake.
just don't get to listen to them in your car.
Yeah, never ever play while driving.
We've heard that a lot this week.
Yeah, no, seriously. But yeah, so the bonus track is you can put it on before bed, and then I give you all the wonderful sleep suggestions that your sleep is consistent, high quality, you sleep all through the night. So, so there's a bonus track as well.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nadeen, for being on All Things Possible TV and for giving us the opportunity to share with our viewers and our clients and guests your fantastic way of helping others and assisting them to be their best self.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. Yeah.
We are thrilled to have you. And gratitude, I love that you have so much gratitude. We teach a lot about gratitude, and it's just fantastic to see that. You do that from stage. It's so natural for you, and we love that.
Thank you. Well, you know, gratitude I think is protects you from everything. When you're in a state of gratitude, it's impossible to feel anything but joy, bliss, happiness, all those wonderful things as long as you're grateful. And it's really easy to, if you think about it, it's really, really easy to become grateful. You just have to think of one little thing and other things follow.
And once you put it into practice, it's just like the baby steps.
Yeah.
Once you start doing it, you do it more and more, and you have more to be grateful for.
Yeah.
So it's just that abundance comes as you're grateful.
As you're grateful, yeah.
Well, visit us again at allthingspossible.biz. That's www.allthingspossible.biz. We are so excited to have had you with us. Thank you again.
Thank you.
For sharing all your wonderful insight and your wisdom. And go to her website, and for $19.99 you can have your own download and work on those things that you want to change in your life. So it's Queen of Hypnosis right here. It's Nadeen, and we just are thrilled to be able to support and have you with us as a team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful.
Have a great day, and we'll see you next time on All Things Possible TV. Bye-bye.